One of the biggest things to come out of last year with regards to UFOs and aliens was the fact that there were House and committee hearings regarding the UFO topic. Of course, we saw David Grush, we saw many other whistleblowers like Ryan Greaves, and people like that sit in front of Congress and testify their stories about what they've encountered, what they've witnessed whilst they're during their time within the US Air Force, within their time within the Pentagon, and things like this. And it would appear that that was not a one and done situation, as it seems that congressional people and congressmen and congresswomen are prepping for new UFO hearings this year after the elections are done and out of the way this coming November, which is incredibly exciting for the UFO community. So this news was broken by News Nation. Of course, it was going to be none other. In a video obviously titled "Congress Preps for New UFO Hearing After Election, News Nation." Now, this is what they have to say, and then we're going to discuss it.
And to politics now, Congress will return to Washington after the presidential election. And when lawmakers do come back, the House Oversight Subcommittee that's been looking into unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs, will continue its work. News Nation correspondent Joe Khalil is live on Capitol Hill. So, Joe, what is the status of the committee's work, and do we know what they'll be focusing on when they're back in D.C.?
Yeah, so there's a lot that Congress is going to have on its plate when they come back after the election. But this UAP topic is going to be one of those agenda items.
I'm really chuffed to hear that this is still something that's going to be taken seriously. Obviously, the election is a huge time in any political landscape, especially over in the United States, as it's so heavily publicized. And the fact that there's obviously going to be a lot going on with a potential change in government, a potential stay in government. We obviously don't know which way it's going to sway yet, but there's a lot going on. And the fact that the UFO topic is remaining one of the most prevalent and one of the most important is really, really good. So the fact that we're still going to be getting this UAP hearing and it's not going to get pushed to the wayside is fantastic.
Confirm that both in the House and in the Senate, there are currently being planned hearings on this topic. In the House, it should be in the House Oversight Committee, which is the same committee, by the way, that held that blockbuster hearing last year. You're seeing images of it right now featuring that whistleblower David Grush, who came forward on News Nation first. It's going to be a little bit of different players, but some of the same lawmakers. This time around, Congresswoman Nancy Mace is going to be leading this hearing. November 13th was their goal date, but I'm told that's not set in stone yet. I have spoken to Congresswoman Mace about this. She says there are still a couple of witnesses that they want to pin down. They didn't give any details yet about what they're going to want to focus on, but she said the witness list is still in flux, partly because they don't want to reveal who they may be talking to in fear of those people being potentially intimidated out of testifying.
That's a good thing. And that was something that I was wondering, is who is going to be testifying this time round? Because obviously David Grush was just off the back of that hot off the press interview that he did with News Nation and with Ross Coulthart regarding the UAPs and him kind of coming out formally as a whistleblower. So he was always going to be the front runner for someone to testify in front of Congress. And I couldn't think of anyone better to kind of really spearhead the first ever congressional hearing on UFOs. But who's going to do it this time around? Will it be more servicemen and women? You know, potentially maybe in the US Air Force, in the Navy, if they've seen things. Could it be someone like Lou Elizondo, who's fresh off the back of his new book, Imminent? Could it be someone like that, like Pentagon insiders? Could it be someone like, who is it? That's the Navy Rear Admiral Tim Glaudit. Could it be him? Like, there's a lot of people that could do it this time around that have come out of the woodworks since, like, this time last year. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see.
At some point. Another piece that may or may not be part of this hearing is the new reporting from Michael Schellenberger. And you may have seen this on News Nation, the independent journalist reporting that a whistleblower has come forward to Congress revealing what he says is the existence of an illegal and classified program that's known as Immaculate Constellation. Schellenberger's reporting says that this whistleblower claims that program is, in fact, a reverse engineering UAP program that is currently being run. The fact that he named it was something new. We hadn't seen anything like that before. So that whistleblower coming forward, Congress, we've spoken to a couple of members here. They have questions about it. They want to learn more about it. This is what Schellenberger told our Ross Coulthard about why it was important to cover that story specifically. Take a listen.
So we'll get into that in just a minute. So the Immaculate Constellation is something that I've been following. I haven't really made a couple of videos on it because I think just other people have done a better job. I'm thinking Vetted from, you know, Patrick from the Vetted podcast. I'm thinking someone like, his name escapes me, but his face is in my head right now. Christian Harloff. He's done a couple of videos on it. You know, those people have really like kind of taken the reins for it. So I was just like, I'll just let them cover that. But it's something that's very intriguing.
So whether or not you think there are extraterrestrials or non-human intelligence or anything, even if you think that all of this is just some sort of advanced craft, the allegation here by a new whistleblower verified by other sources in a position to know is that the Pentagon the Defense Department has kept secret this information from Congress, which is a violation of the Constitution and illegal.
Now, the Pentagon vehemently denying that this program exists. They say they've got no record ever of any program with that name. So interesting when Congress comes back. We'll see how.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we certainly will. All right, Joe Khalil live for us in Washington. Joe, thank you. Thanks for watching.
There you go. So interesting and very enlightening. Now, of course, I'm chuffed to bits that, like I say, even though there's going to be a new government potentially, or, you know, a bit of there's still going to be a reshuffle in government, regardless of what happens, because Joe Biden's not in the running anymore. It's obviously Kamala Harris taking his place. So whether it be Kamala Harris or whether it be Donald Trump, you know, one of those two are going to take power. And there's still going to be a reshuffle in government because, like I say, there's going to be a new president. And the fact that that hasn't deterred or swayed a public hearing about UFOs in Congress is fantastic. And what I like as well is that they're not naming names to stop people from being intimidated out of doing this kind of thing, because that's something that we see quite often. David Grush, for example, before he became a whistleblower, the people behind the scenes tried to get him thrown in prison so that he couldn't come out and testify. But the thing is like they just flat out denied his claim. So if there's nothing going on and, you know, David Grush is lying like they want us to believe, then why would they want him thrown in prison? What is there to be so afraid of? It begs the question. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you expect to hear from this UAP hearing? Do you think it can be as historic as the last? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump to get the hell out of that like button. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.